Here, who starts first? All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, it is mock draft season, which means Brandon is here with us again. We are on our third show for this 2023 kickoff, and it's been interesting to say the least. So I don't know how today's going to go out, but the last two have been very, very interesting, and we are excited to bring this show to Brandon. Thank you so much for tuning in, man.
Always.
Now, it looks like I got you again by the polls. It looks like Bryce Young took the number 2 spot. Sorry, man.
That's whatever.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, you know.
Eh.
A lot of our demographic apparently like to play it safe too. So
playing it too damn
is.
safe. It's almost comfortable. It's like a pair of slippers. It's really safe with bunny ears on it. Really safe.
Hey man, don't diss my bunny slippers like that. Man. Right, don't diss my bunny slippers like that. All right, I love those little things. And Easter's right around the corner, so don't diss my shit. But man, we got a good one today. I know this much. I know we got a good one today because we have the NFL's real world version of teams that just happened. It's Arizona Cardinals. Brandon, when I say the Arizona Cardinals were no short of drama this year, there was drama everywhere. My man, everywhere. And I mean, I think really where it all started was DeAndre Hopkins, getting suspended, getting that suspension. That was a killer. Then Cliff Kingsbury, coming along. They extended Kyler Murray halfway through them, and then there was a thing that came out where there was a, like a study hour in his contract that he had to, and I'm just like, what? Then, they took that off because it caused distraction, and then you have coaching staffs fighting with players, fighting with, locals in Mexico prior to the Monday Night Football game. Then you have Buda Baker almost getting into trying to fight, looking like crazy, and then J.J. Watt announcing his retirement. So to say the least, I mean, with everything, to say that the Arizona Cardinals season was nothing short of drama and entertainment, I would be lying to people of America. Lying. But Brandon, give me honest opinion. What would you take away from this 2022 season from the Arizona Cardinals?
Good guy. It really was like we're coming from different worlds. We're gonna try to make it work in the real world. Like it's just ridiculous how this just went. The entire Arizona Cardinals. It just was terrible. Listen, the Kyler Murray stuff really just dampened the season. Let's be real. It kind of ruined the season before it even started. To tell everybody that this dude doesn't really even study. He just gets on the field and just like, I'm gonna make some shit up today. That's literally what you told everybody. Like Kyler Murray gets on the field, like, all right, I'm gonna just make some shit up today. Like it's just like, what the fuck do you do, dude? It was terrible. DeAndre getting suspended, and now we don't know really what the hell his status is with Arizona. We don't know. And that's just one thing. I mean, you had a lot of things going on. Injuries, of course, coming into play at certain points in the season for them. It was just a lot. Cliff Kingsbury looked like he had no fun at all. It's probably why they fired him. The general manager, by the way, didn't even get fired. He just resigned. He was like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. I got health problems. I don't need to deal with this bullshit no more. Like he just left. He was like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. He just left.
No, it was mutually agreed. It was mutually agreed to part. Mutually agreed.
It was mutually agreed to say, man, yeah, fuck this job. I'm going home. Like, it was mutually agreed to say, fuck this job. I'm going home. It was mutually agreed to just be like, yeah, I don't need this shit. Listen, they got a new GM, new head coach, but you still got the same situation and the same problems. I don't think you fixed any damn thing, to be honest with you. I think Kyler Murray still is Kyler Murray, and you gave him more power, which is kind of the dumbest shit I've ever seen a team do. What's our biggest problem? the fucking quarterback. What should we do? Give him more power to make the more problems happen. It literally is what Biggie said: more money, more problems. Because that is exactly what the fuck Kyler Murray has become for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, it's and like I said, I mean, it's one of those seasons where I'm just very shocked, because last year, when you looked at this Arizona team, last year they started out the season 8-1, injuries happened, and they ended up getting bouncing out of the playoffs and the wild card. But you figured, okay, maybe they'll come back, maybe they get healthy, maybe they'll do something. No, nothing. Nothing went right. Like nothing there, nothing from the get-go said go. Nothing. Nothing for Arizona. Like Arizona just went through the motion of all the players saying, I'm done. I want the season to be over. JJ Watt announced his retirement, and they even haven't played their final game yet. And it's like, yeah, I'm just letting you all know right now. You took the fun out of football for me. I'm out. Peace. Like this is it. I'm good. So that was that. And it's just it. And they were that team this year that was on HBO Knocks, Hard Knocks, um, during the season and everything. And you could just tell the players were not happy. The players did not want nothing. Like there was no, even after a win, one back room and they're just like, hey. Like that was it. That was the emotion of the Arizona Cardinals this year. And I think it's sad because, a few years ago, this Arizona Cardinal team, they were young, they were energetic. You think they're going to make some noise in the NFC West, and it just turned out to be not the case. Now, Arizona is in a.
How does it look with like? How does it look for like now, Arizona who flipped David Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins? Right, we were like, that's the stupidest trade we ever seen, and now Houston is picking second, and Arizona's picking third, and DeAndre Hopkins could be on his way out of the fucking Arizona Cardinals. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is the worst type of situation
you could ask for. It's so that DeAndre Hopkins trade should have elevated Arizona to at least compete for division titles, and they're doing anything but that. It's just. Again, I think it's just a bad break. Arizona had all the pieces in the making to make a good run, and it didn't happen. It just never happened. And and credit to none. I mean, it just started like bad from the get-go with DeAndre firing, the whole Kyler Murray situation, just bad. And I mean, why wouldn't it be? They finished 4-13. They were the 21st best offense. Chicago had a bad defense. Arizona was right next to theirs at 31. Chicago finished 32, but Arizona was right there next to them at 31. And again, not to take anything away from Kyler Murray, but he did do his thing. He only played in 11 games due to injury. 2,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He also ran for 418 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that was just in 11 games. Now, great, you're still a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. That's awesome. But no, that's not going to cut it, man. That's just no. When you're the guy, they need more. And that was not going to, and especially with DeAndre Hopkins. Now, this is how bad it was. This is really on our team in rushing. 82 yards touchdown. In your bench. Okay. This is was just bad. Mark Anderson. Now I'm gonna give folks a DeAndre for 6. Brandon led the team in received.
Ravi?
Yeah. Who do you? DeAndre Hopkins was suspended for 6 weeks. Who do you think led their team in receiving yards, receptions, and touchdowns last year?
DeAndre Hopkins. Because they had nobody else.
Yeah.
Even with Hollywood Brown, they still didn't have nobody else.
DeAndre Hopkins was gone for 6 weeks, and he still finished with 717 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. That is all you need to know about the wide receiver rooms in Arizona. It was bad. It was so bad. So bad. I don't even know how to think about this. I just, you trade for Hollywood Brown to get another player for Kyler Murray. You would think maybe Robbie Anderson can do some damage, not being the guy in Carolina. The only thing this dude is capable of doing is changing his name every like 3 weeks or something like that. That is the only thing. The only thing he receives is new social security cards for his new name that he just put up. That is what Robbie Anderson does, folks, or Chosen Anderson. I don't freaking know his name anymore. It would be Coco Beware Anderson for all I freaking know at the end of the freaking month. I don't freaking know anymore. Like, dude, like, what is going on, man? Like, I don't know. It's just, when I say Arizona was a mess offensively, it was a mess. And it didn't help the defense either because they kept going 3-and-out, 3-and-out. And then on top of that, again, this is how you know your defense is bad. You never want your safety to be the leading tackle on your team. Never. You know why? Because that means everybody else did nothing, non-existent. You might as well have just rolled out with 3 defensive linemen, 4 defensive linemen, and tell your linebackers to stay off the field and just play, with like 7 people on the team. That's it. Just 7 players. That's it. Because your linebackers, your edges, they were not there, man. They were not. When your safety, Buda Baker, leads the team with 111 tackles, it's time to reevaluate your decision on what you guys are doing on defense. Now, Marco Wilson, amazing, 3 interceptions and a pick 6. And J.J. Watt, good as he was, as good as he is, led the team 12.5 sacks, and he said, I'm done. I have nothing more to prove. 12.5 sacks by himself with no other help. I think he's got nothing left to prove. And yes, he deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer for that reason alone. So Brandon, go ahead. Give it to me straight, man. What's wrong with this team? The fighting, the drama. What is going on? What's going on, man? Was it the coaching staff? Who do you think had more blame in this? Was it the general manager, the coaching staff, or the players?
I think the entire Arizona Cardinals organization, from the top down, it was terrible. Listen, you got Hollywood Brown. He did absolutely fucking nothing. He did absolutely nothing. This was the first full season you had Zach Ertz. He did absolutely nothing. This is the you barely had a running.
I'm surprised. He didn't retire. Awesome.
You had a running game with Chase Edmonds at first. Then you traded him away. Then you got rid of him. Then you had James Conner. Then he kind of got injured, and then it was just a lot of problems. Your offensive line was hurt, banged up for most of the year. Then the defense, I mean, it was just a terrible friggin' defense. It was a bad friggin' defense. I mean, the best thing about the defense was the flip on Thursday Night Football against the Saints. That might have been the only goddamn highlight the Arizona Cardinals had the entire fucking year. When he literally picked the ball off, ran it back.
Talking about
it flipped. It flipped into the end zone. It was just slow cam. Slow cam was amazing for that game. I was like, God damn it.
The people that don't know what he's talking, if you go back, it's a worldwide meme now. Like Andy Dalton throws an interception. He's walking back to the sideline because he knows he ain't going to get him. He ain't going to get him. And all of a sudden you see in the back, homeboy Marco Wilson like doing a flip and in slow motion. And I'm just like, wow, that might have been the best moment for San Francisco this year, or for Arizona this year.
That might have been the only highlight that we all remember.
I remember the Kyler Murray one. I remember the one where Kyler Murray went for the 2 against Vegas, against the Raiders, and he was like running around for like 20 seconds, and then he finally
that was
that was cool. But I don't know which
Yeah.
one was better, that one or the slow motion Andy Dalton just coming to the sideline like, I'm gonna get him. Ah.
Andy Dalton is like, yo,
Like,
he's,
I mean,
he's like, yo,
it's
fuck.
just,
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
was
dude,
listen, this whole situation, Arizona in particular, Arizona as a team, you doomed your season the moment you signed Kyler Murray to an extension, and you said that you need to study for the fucking football games. It's the worst thing that I've ever seen a team do to a quarterback that's supposed to be your future. That shit is so stupid. You don't put that on blast. You don't put that even in a
that kills
contract.
me. That kills me because only due to the that only kills me due to the fact because when that report came out, by the way, the whole contract situation with Kyler Murray and
Mm-hmm.
everything, it reminded me of that Jamarcus Russell story. I don't know if you've ever heard that one. I'm pretty sure
I,
everybody has.
I remember they had to put something in his contract, so I do
No, no,
remember
no, no.
something.
So okay, so before that, so Jamarcus Russell, they had John DeFilippo, a great quarterback coach, by the way. He was the quarterback coach when the Eagles won the Super Bowl under Doug Peterson and everything. So
Yeah.
great quarterbacks coach, right? Just great quarterbacks coach. Um, so he was in charge of making sure that Jamarcus Russell was watching film, he was understanding concepts, all that stuff, signalings and all that stuff, right? So this is his
Mm-hmm.
second year. This is his second year. And like they're like, hey man, so we got this game coming up. Here's our game coming up. Here's a DVD. Take it home, watch it, watch the film. Let me know what you think, and then let me know what plays you want to run. Okay. And the only reason I know this is because Kirk Morrison, former Raider,
Mm-hmm.
talked about it, and he was a teammate and everything. Um, so training day's over, whatever. All right, go home. Everybody go home. See y'all tomorrow for practice, whatever, right? So here comes in Jamarcus Russell and everything. And, John DeFilippo stops him in the hallway. Now, John DeFilippo only told a few certain players that I guess the DVDs were blank. There was nothing in there. Nothing in there. There were blank DVDs. Like that's how old this story is. When we're talking about blank DVDs, like blank CDs and shit. That's how old the story is. So he goes, whatever. And I guess him and a couple people are in the hallway with him. And, he's like, hey, Jamarcus, did you catch the film? And Jamarcus was like, yeah, 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 I caught it. I got it. And pretty much it
What did you
was,
see?
John DeFilippo was like, well, what did you think? Did you want to run all of them? Like, did you like a few of these? Did you like some of them? He goes, oh, coach, I love them all. Let's
I
run them
remember
all.
that.
So then I guess, he's like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Let me put a game plan together. And then, we'll talk about it and afterwards and everything, right? And he looked kind of disappointed. And then they're like asking him, like, hey, man, well, what's wrong about it? Guys, the DVDs I gave him were blank. There was nothing on them. He never watched it, or else he would have known that they were DVDs. And I guess for me, when that whole ordeal came out of they put mandatory study time on his contract, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. There's just some players, you know, that don't need study time. They don't, because they're just that good at quarterback. They're just that good. Now, there's some players that I know that could probably study their asses off, and they suck at quarterback. So there's two ways to look at this. My problem is the way Kyler Murray's handling it. He's handling it like a Jamarcus Russell, Michael Vick type of deal. Michael Vick has even said himself, if I would have watched more film, if I would have, put a little bit more extra effort, who knows what Michael Vick would have actually really done as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Michael Vick has admitted that. Imagine Jamarcus Russell. Now, at the time, remember, Jamarcus Russell was going through a lot. He just lost his uncle. He's going through depression. And this is, when nobody really talked about depression and everything. And was just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. Nobody really talked about it. And Michael Vick has said it too. If I would have watched a little bit more film, if I would have applied myself a little bit more, who knows how long I would have stayed in Atlanta. Maybe I wouldn't have done the stupid stuff,
Yeah.
that he did. And he admits it. And that's the sign of maturity. Okay. I think Kyler Murray's on that same boat. I think if Kyler Murray actually would apply himself a little bit more, I think he'd be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, bar none.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him at his best, like at his absolute best. I've seen it, and it's awesome to see him. It's just if you have to put that for the guy who's supposed to be your franchise leader, your franchise QB, your leader, that pretty much should scare you away not to give him a contract. That
Does
should
it
give you a sign of maybe he wasn't the right fit for us.
well? Does it play into the fact that he was never supposed to be in the NFL? I mean, he could have been a baseball player, and you don't have to
He would
do.
have been first. He would have been first overall going to Oakland.
And it kind of plays into the point of I chose the NFL over baseball because I actually didn't think I had to do much fucking work for it. Baseball, you have to get prepped for it faster. You have to do all this shit. Maybe he just didn't expect football to be as fucking hard. I don't know.
And I don't like that. I don't like that because it's a professional sport.
And
They're both
it
very
is,
hard.
but in his head, you had people telling him go to the football because you're gonna light it up on football. Baseball is not that I guess difficult to a lot of people. What the fuck? I don't know why.
No, baseball is difficult, but they're
That's
both
what I'm saying. Like
now.
baseball is just as
This
difficult.
isn't like Bo Jackson.
Yeah,
Where it's like okay, your objective. Bo Jackson's objective was to get the ball, run with it. That was his objective. This is being a quarterback.
but
This is okay. This isn't like what was he in? What was he going to be anyway? A shortstop?
I think he's supposed to be shortstop. Yeah, he
Okay,
damn
and
sure
you don't
could
think
play
that's hard?
outfield.
Shortstop is one of the hardest positions in baseball.
Yeah,
Quarterback is one of the, if not the toughest position in football.
and I
So
think
you
I
have
don't
to
know.
apply yourself
Yeah,
at both of those positions. So there was going to be no easy path for him.
yeah. I feel
My
like
problem with it is he knows he has the talent, and I think he would have made great anyway. But if he's not willing to apply himself, then maybe the general manager of the Cardinals at the time should have just been like, well, you want your contract, but you're not showing me that you actually deserve it. You just been getting away with talent. Now, here's the thing about talent, though. When you're young and you come into the league and you have talent, because nobody's seen you actually play in the NFL, defensive coordinators catch up. That's why they're defensive coordinators. They're not stupid. They figure out a game plan after that. All right. That's why they're in the NFL. They figure it out. They adapt to you. You don't adapt to them. They adapt to you.
But I feel
And
like
only the great ones can just be like, I don't care what defense you throw at me. I'm going to figure it out. Kyler Murray has that potential. My problem with is if he's going to apply himself, why would Arizona give him that contract to begin with? Now you're just making your franchise look bad. And by the way, for every Arizona fan that's going to see this, it's like, well, why are you dissing on my franchise? Because even your players voted as being the worst training facility of all of the NFL. Your own players are saying this. So now I'm looking back on it. I'm like, so why does a franchise always seem so down? Because the players don't like to be there. They're collecting their last check, and they just want to play for their
and then
last check. And
and
there's
then
no drive. There's no leadership in that organization. None.
you bring back literally a tackle that has been on record saying Kyler Murray don't do shit. He literally is just there to play
And you
football.
signed them to not a 1, a 2-year deal.
You signed this tackle to a fucking deal. Like it's the craziest shit to have a fucking person on your now team that's supposed to be protecting this fucking dude say, I don't know
He
why they
don't do
fucking
shit.
signed him. I don't know why they brought him back. Like I wouldn't have signed his ass.
I
would have went
understand
with
left tackles are hard to find, but dude, you're gonna sign the one guy who said this guy.
You could have draft. You have the number 3 pick overall. You could literally draft a fucking tackle. That's literally not that fucking hard. It's just like you can literally draft one. That's a great tackle out of Ohio State. That's a great fucking tackle out of Iowa or Northwestern. Why the fuck are you bringing back a tackle that is literally openly said this fucking
And if
quarterback?
you didn't get one of those, you got an early pick in the second round. I'm sure there's going to be an offensive lineman that falls in the second round. A DeJuan Jones, an Anton Harrison, somebody. But no, you decided to bring back. And this is what I'm saying. You bring franchises like this stay at the bottom for so long because they make decisions like this. Now, speaking of decisions, they did make a decision. After the whole drama, season's over. Cliff Kingsbury just walked away. Probably the best thing for his mental health is just to walk away. Now, what they did do is they did bring him a new general manager and a new head coach. So, the new general manager, Monty Ossenfort, he was the player personnel, high-ranking player personnel for the Tennessee Titans for all those years. And Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, son of quarterback Rich Gannon, is now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. And already, watching the cringe of watching them, like the players trying to warm up to him, was so cringy. Have you seen those videos?
I'm not.
By the way,
I'm not.
it is so cringy. Like, yeah, man, let's get to work. Yeah. I'm like,
It's not motivational. It's not motivational at all.
oh, like,
Maybe it works.
I was expecting him to be like his father, Rich Gannon. I was expecting him, like, because remember, I'm a little bit older than you. Okay, just a little bit. But I remember when I was a kid watching Rich Gannon on TV, yelling, firing up the teammates. I remember one time in a playoff game, by the way, playoffs. All right, this is the first time the Oakland Raiders, or at the time when they were in Oakland, they hosted a playoff game against the Jets, right? The first time they hosted a playoff game, right? In a very long time in Oakland. Opening kickoff happens. Raiders get the ball first. Rich Gannon and John Gruden cannot decide on what play to run first. So what does John Gruden do? He calls out the play. He goes, "No, we're not running that. Not with the defense I'm seeing." He goes, "Well, you're running. I'm giving you my playbook. Here's my rules." And what does Rich Gannon do? He flips off John Gruden. He flips him off. Now, the good part of that story is that they won 45-20. All right, they won 45-20. So flip off John Gruden all you want. If you're winning 45-20, it's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. But if you're the son of Rich Gannon, I would at least like to see a little more intensity. That would be like being John Gruden's son and you're like shy. Like, what? You serious? You serious, man? Like, it was so cringy.
You're humble.
And
like you're just humble. If you're John Gruden's son, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Okay.
Like, hi, my name is Deuce, and I'm just here. I'm John Gruden. Like, what? Huh? You're John Gruden's son.
Like, what?
Okay. Like, if you're John Madden's son, I expect you to bust through every door in America. Like, you don't have to open it. Just bust it through like he did in his commercials. So like I was saying, like, that's what I want. Like, it's not like that, but it's just so cringe. It was just so weird to watch that because I'm just like, I don't know if he's not trying to warm up to these guys because he knows he's going to cut them next year and he doesn't want to develop that personnel, or if really he just is like that. So we're going to see. Now, free agency so far for Arizona. I'm going to tell you, man, Jonathan Gannon has a lot to work because he's going from an Eagle defense, which was, by the way, amazing, to an Arizona defense, which, by the way, sucked. All right, sucked. It was so bad. So bad.
That's like literally going from the best defense in the league to the worst fucking defense in the league.
Like that it is so bad.
How do you go from?
Dude, how do you go from hanging out with celebrities at a yacht to hosting Chuck E. Cheese and shit? Like, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. That's the downfall of the god right there. That is a downfall of a god. All right. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. He's got a lot to work to do. But I'm going to tell you what Arizona has on defense, I think he can put it together. Remember, they still have Isaiah Simmons. They still have Zavain Collins. They still have Budda Baker. So there's little pieces there that he can build around to keep it going. Now, defensively offseason, they haven't done nothing. You would think a defense like this would at least attempt to sign something. No, all they have done is sign 2 linebackers as of right now, Kazir White and Ezekiel Turner. Now, I know who Kazir White is. He was with the Eagles. So he knows Jonathan. He knows Ezekiel Turner. I was like, did Ezekiel Elliott legally change his last name to play linebacker in the NFL now? Like, is that what just happened? No. But I'll tell you what they did do. They re-signed a 38-year-old kicker, Matt Prater, to 2 more years. They got Corey Clement. They got Greg Dortch. They re-signed Will Hernandez. They got Hajati Forholt from the Browns. And they re-signed a left tackle that literally was on record saying, I think this dude sucks. And they still signed him. You really think he's going to put all his effort to protect Kyler Murray? Really? Really? After he literally went on social media, everybody saw it saying, you suck. And you still gave him a contract. That has to be the worst I've ever seen in my freaking life. So, Brandon, just give it to me straight, man. What are you seeing? What is the staff doing? Me personally, this is what I think is happening. They're not going to get attached to any of these players. They're not. They're not going to get attached to any of these players. It's literally rebuild time in Arizona. You might not like it, Arizona, but it is rebuild time. And Jonathan Gannon is going to do everything he can to prove that he deserves to be a head coach. Now, Brandon, give it to me straight, man. Free agency class so far for Arizona, what grade would you give it? Because me personally, I'm giving this one a big fat F. Big fat F. There's nothing I like about this so far.
If I could give it a plus F, I would give it a plus F. That shit's fuck it. I want to give it an incomplete. Can I give it an incomplete? It's an incomplete.
You give it an incomplete. That's fine. We'll come back to this. We'll circle the wagons to this one later.
Yeah, I give it an incomplete. I know more about the fucking people they lost than they actually gained. I fucking know about, like, they lost their cornerback to Minnesota. They lost the fucking defensive ends of fucking Denver. It's like, what did you do? Like, what did you do to make yourself like so not likable? Like, what did you do as a franchise?
And you would think, out of all places, it's like Arizona. Like, what's wrong with Arizona? But then one reporter asked Byron Murphy when he was at the press conference in Minnesota, like, hey, how does it feel to go from this facility to this facility? Did you have to pay for any of your food? He goes, nah, Minnesota has an all-you-can-eat buffet. I had to pay $20 for every meal when I was in Arizona. I'm like, now, to NFL Super, like, to NFL bucks, it's $20. But to me, I'd be like, could you imagine your job charging you $20 every time you wanted to eat there? Could you?
Like,
could you imagine that?
I might as well just go to McDonald's. What the fuck? I might as well work at McDonald's. At least I get free shit over there.
I'm gonna go to Jack in the Box down the street. Like, I at least know I can get a quarter pounder at McDonald's for $20. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, man. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I give it an incomplete. I mean, it's a terrible fucking off season. I mean, just be real. That's a terrible lineup. Like, that's a very terrible lineup, what you just mentioned, sir. Like, that's a very terrible fucking lineup. This isn't a proven. The reason why I said it's incomplete, because you still have DeAndre Hopkins. Now, if you would have traded DeAndre Hopkins, I would have been like, yeah, this is a big fucking F. Good God. You have nobody. Like, why would you keep absolutely all those players and get rid of DeAndre Hopkins? What are you doing? So, I literally, I don't know, man. It's incomplete. You didn't really go get the running backs. You didn't do shit. I mean, Chris Clemens, but who the fuck is that? Like you did.
He was third string running back for. He was third string running back for.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody I'm telling you who he is. Okay,
I know who he is. It's just,
answer.
What did he do?
I'm giving you the answer, sir. I'm giving you the answer, sir.
He's down to third, but he's gonna be a punt fucking return. Like, come on, like we don't need this dude. Like, James Conner's getting up there, man. Like, James Conner's had so many ups and downs in his career. How many more years he got left in him? We don't even freaking know. You have a bad old offensive line. It's just fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. Oh my god, dude. It's just, I don't know what to do. Defensively, yeah, you got pieces. Yeah, I mean. But how long does they look at you and say, trade me? Fuck this. Like, trade me, man. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know, man. I
think this is where it comes into play for Arizona. Me personally, I think where it has to come. Now, on our show, we can't do any trades. We just have to go 1-31. All right, we got to do this. So we have to go through it. Minnesota right now is a big player trading back. And I think it would benefit them if they trade back. It would benefit them dearly to trade back because you have, like we mentioned, so many holes offensively, defensively, no depth. You need to back to now. Granted, you're not going to pick an average of 7 players in the draft, and all 7 of them are going to be starters. No, that's just physically impossible. You might get lucky to
Well,
getting 2 stars, maybe.
well, I can't say physically impossible. I saw
Maybe
Seattle last
you.
year.
I mean, okay, look. Here's the crazy thing that I always hear every year. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me every year. Here's the thing that gets me when it comes to fans, that are not, mock draft people. They expect, okay, you're going to hit a Hall of Famer every round. No. You're going to hit a Pro Bowler every round. No. You're going to hit a starter every round. No. You know what you're going to do? You're going to have talent. That's what you're going off. You're going off film and talent. And what happens after that? I have seen so many first round bust, and I've seen so many undrafted free agents have Hall of Fame careers. I've seen so many 7th rounders have 10-year careers and 2nd rounders out of the league in 2. All right. It just happens. It just happens that way. What you're drafting is talent. So if you get starters from any round, think you're lucky stars. Look at us. Look at the Raiders. We found Max Crosby and Hunter Renfrow in the 4th and 5th round. Amazing.
I
Now
mean,
ask me
shit.
about my first rounders. They're not. They're not there.
Yeah, the Saints. We got our running back.
They're
but
not
Alvin
there.
Kamara, third. We got Alvin Kamara like 3rd, 4th round. Like fuck, we didn't get him. We didn't get Alvin Kamara like 3rd, 4th round. Like shit happens. Michael Thomas was like 2nd. Like it's just shit happens like that.
You see what I'm saying? You're gonna hit a. You're not gonna hit a Hall of Famer every round. You're not gonna hit a Pro Bowl. You know what you're gonna get? You're drafting. You're drafting upside. You're drafting potential. For Arizona, listen. This is rebuild. You're at a good spot at 3, but I think it would benefit them. Not to trade back. No, I'm not asking them to go from 3 to like 27. No, that'd be good. No, I'm at maybe 3 to 7, 3 to maybe 10, maybe 3 to 12. Something.
Let's be real. I would trade the 3rd pick to Washington, and I would try to see if I get Curtis Samuel.
16, perfectly fine.
I would trade.
You're going to switch first round and get more picks next year. You're going to get picks in the draft that year. Perfectly fine. It would be a benefit. It would be a benefit for Arizona to trade back. That's all I'm saying.
Not try to see if Washington could give you Montez Sweat and Montez Sweat and their pick and some picks for next year. Washington gets a quarterback, and you get
not Jonathan Allen, because we know knows Jonathan Allen and Dane do not like each other. Oh, you don't believe me? Check out this Sunday Night Football clip right here. Look at this. Look at this. All right.
He was so mad he got punched on camera. He was so fucking mad. He got punched on camera.
So all I'm saying is we're gonna pick at 3 because we have, because we're not magicians like that. We don't know who to trade with. Okay, we have some ideas, but we don't know what it would be to give up. We're not doing that. We're just doing straight mock. But do I Arizona's and play to trade back? 100%.
We're so talking about that. Yeah, we're so talking about that. We're so talking about that when Washington comes up. We have to talk about that, go into depth. That goddamn punch on a
There is no depth. There's no depth. Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen were yelling at each other. Deron Payne pushed his face to the camera. There is no other way to describe it. There's no other way to put it into words. And Montez Sweat and Chase Young had to separate them. That's what it was, because they were the only bigger guys enough. He did, though. That was so. I mean, I know when you're losing bad, emotions are high, but damn, did you really have to punch him? Like, really, man? Really? On Sunday night football of all time, like of all places, Sunday night football. for the world to see. And I'm like, oh my God, this is bad.
Oh, that shit was so
That
funny.
was,
That was the hardest hit. That was the hardest hit they did all fucking game. That shit was so
yeah, because they weren't hitting Dallas's offense. They were hitting each other at
oh,
that point.
oh,
You
that
know,
shit was
gosh,
hilarious.
man. It was bad.
Oh,
It
that
was
shit
bad.
was good. That was good comedy.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh
I
shit.
mean,
Watch
I've seen
this.
some frustrations, but I've seen frustrations, but at least it was a competitive game. This one, they were getting blown out. They're just like, "Well, I'm gonna hit you instead." Like, come on, man. Now,
I need
all
to take
that
my
being
aggression
said,
out on somebody. Fuck this.
I didn't practice all week just to not take out aggression. Like, damn, bro.
Oh man.
Now here we go. Here we go.
Uh,
So Brandon and me already made our first two picks. So I went CJ Stroud two. Brandon went and CJ Stroud 1 and 2. So see if we can keep the tradition going of going 0 for 3, or are we finally going to agree on a player? So Brandon, it is now time to select. Arizona's on the clock. Here comes Roger Goodell. What name is Mr. Goodell going to read to the world?
all right. For the number 3 pick, the 2023 draft, the Arizona Cardinals select. Oh, good God. I wish this man, I hope they trade out this pick because I really don't want to see this man in Arizona, but I'm going Will Anderson. I do not want to see him in Arizona, but I'm going Will Anderson. The NFL gods cannot be this cruel to this man. He can't go from Alabama to fucking Arizona. I gotta pay for his fucking lunch when he's literally killing the entire league. How dare you pay for lunch? This is so fucked up. But he's going number 3, and it just sucks. It fucking sucks. Oh my God, I wish the best for you, man. I really wish the best for you. At least with CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson, at least you got something. This shit is just cruel and unusual punishment to a man that will possibly have 11 fucking sacks, 2 pass deflections, maybe a 3 forced fumbles. This shit is ridiculous. But I'm going with Anderson number 3. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I like Will Anderson. I really do. And you know what? Arizona needs to trade back.
I really hope they do. Good God.
They need to trade back. They need help. But with my pick right here, with the 3rd pick in this year's draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Anderson, linebacker out of Alabama. Yeah. Listen, folks. Listen.
This
He
is
just
so cool.
has to wear a different red. He just has to wear a different red. That's it. That's it.
So cool.
It was probably worse. He was probably getting paid more in Alabama than he was in Arizona. I'm just throwing it out there. It's just what it is. But look, there's nothing not to say anything about Will Anderson. There isn't. He's 6'4", 243 pounds. National champion, Lombardi Award, 2-time Bronco Nagurski winner. The Chuck Bednarik with a lot trophy, 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time unanimous All-American, 2nd team All SEC in 2020, 2 for first SEC in 2021, 2020, Cotton Bowl MVP. Remember last year it was very interesting because there was a lot of people, especially Alabama fans. They made it known that Will Anderson should be up there with Aiden Hutchinson with Heisman Trophy votes. I agree. Will Anderson was that dude last year. This year, his production kind of dipped a little bit, and it's not due to his fault of his own. It's just, like we said yesterday, Alabama had problems, but Bryce Young and Will Anderson were not the problem. All right, they were not the problem. 51 tackles, 1 pass deflection, sacks. His lone interception was a pick 6 for 25 yards. All right. Will Anderson is not a problem. He's a solution solver. He's a problem solver. You put him in that Arizona defense, and now the problem is it's like, okay, I wish now you would have had 2 edge rushers coming off the edge. But now you got to find another one. Yes. Is this a rebuild for Arizona? 100% it is. But is Will Anderson a great starting piece to put your foot on and build this team? Yes. Yes, he is. Because everywhere he's gone, he's proven that he has been the most dominant player at his position. Everywhere he's gone. And I don't see why he can't come into the league and do exactly what he did at Alabama and do it here. Look, I think Arizona is going to. People have to understand Arizona's not going to have a great year this year. They might get 4 wins again, and they might be pick number 3 again next year. Next year, they might be pick number 3 again. But all in all, this is a team that's gonna hit the young. They hit the reset button already, so that's good. Jonathan Gannon, he knows he has a lot of work to do on his defense. What better way to start your defense than drafting arguably the best, if not second best, when A1B player, defensive player in this whole draft? Why not? I think it's a win-win for Arizona. You either trade down and get more picks and fill up some holes, or you take the best defensive player and you start building around him. Simple as that. Simple as that.
This has got to suffer, Will Anderson. It's just like you go from Alabama, Nick Saban, to a man that can't even motivate a chicken to lay eggs. This shit sucks. It just fucking sucks. It's fucking terrible. Like, I don't understand this shit. Like, this is one of them times where you just like scream.
I mean, let's be fair though. Let's be fair though. Chicago had the number 1 pick the whole time. I bet you he was ready to look for homes in Chicago. But now, hey, I'm going to tell you this one. It's a lot cheaper to Arizona than it is Chicago. You get to save yourself a few bucks. There you go. It's a positivity. Yeah. Now, the only problem is
it's like,
summertime
that's like the only positive thing you could say right now is like, hey, at least you keep some more money in your pocket. What the fuck? That's about it. Like, good God, man.
What it is, man.
You might go into this. Think about this.
What it is, man.
Will Anderson could literally be walking into Arizona, and the next thing he looks up, you hear DeAndre Hopkins just been traded to fuck. It's like what the fuck? Why did you draft me, man? It's like what the fuck? Why did you draft me?
He'd be the first guy to be. He'd be the first guy to probably get drafted and then contemplate retirement 5 minutes later.
I can literally see DeAndre Hopkins getting traded on draft night. I can literally see it.
No, they have to do it before. You cannot be like, okay, well, they're probably going to keep him then. And then he's going to be on a plane. He gets the notification. He goes, turn this bitch around. I'm not signing. You better. They're like, I need a Jamarcus Russell contract right now. That's what I need. I need the Sam Bradford contract right now to play for you guys.
Anybody gets the Sam Bradford contract.
Like I already need that 5-year, $4 million guarantee, all that shit right now.
If
anybody, no, but in all seriousness,
that is ridiculous. Anybody gets the Sam Bradford contract, ridiculous.
Look, it was a weird time. Sam Bradford, that's why they put implications on how much you can pay a rookie, because Sam Bradford and Jamarcus Russell screwed it up for everybody. Okay,
Sam Bradford
screwed it up for everybody else.
Jamarcus Russell was just out of shape and depressed. Sam Bradford was brittle as shit. I have never seen a quarterback. You like breathe on him, he fucking falls apart. I've never seen a quarterback that fucking brittle. Like, that shit was ridiculous.
I've seen a house of straws last longer than him, bro. I've seen a house of straws withstand hurricanes longer than him, man. Like, God, hell, man. But no, I think for Arizona, I think at this point, what it really comes down to is 2 things. One, obviously, you got to build Cromartie. You got to build this new team. You got to build it from the ground up. Will Anderson is a very nice key spot to build this. So you have to come in and you have to tell him, hey, man, we're not going to be very good this year. I think you know right now. We're probably not going to be very good this year. However, if you stick with me and you just lead, you become the player I can be and lead this team. Meaning you can build something very here in Arizona defensively. That'll help the offense as long as he keeps that offense. So, yeah, I think Will Anderson, nice choice. I don't know why it would be anybody else but him. Yeah, you can make an argument for Jalen Carter, but I just think right now what you're looking for right now is versatility at this pick. And Will Anderson can drop in coverage, can rush the passer, can stop the run. Versatility. So
Will
there it
Anderson can do
is.
a lot of Will
Will
Anderson can do a
Anderson.
lot of things. Will Anderson can do a lot of things. One thing he cannot do is play offense, and that's the fucking problem. So, well, we shall see. He might fucking have to play offense. We don't fucking know. Like, depending
He
on how
might get
Arizona looks this season,
he might get a tight end sneak.
he might have
Tight
to.
end
Shit.
sneak last game gets maybe to move like 3 to 4, and it's like, yes, all right, we're good.
Just full
We're
wildcat.
good. So I mean, we'll see.
Wildcat.
But yeah, no, like I said, and it's like it's very hard to move away from this, pick, because it's like you're back polls and that's fine. But just know this: there's a possibility he could end up on your draft board again. Because if you trade back close enough, not that far out, he could be there by the time you pick again. So I mean, it just seems like Arizona is just calling to him, newest resident of Arizona. It's going to be interesting to see. So that is our decision, what me and Brendan did. So we are down to 3 picks, and let's do a recap. I have, by the way, Indiana trailing number 9 seed in Miami. Wow, women's college basketball is just as insane. Okay, so right now, here's how I look at it. I have C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson. Brandon's got Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson. So we finally agreed on a pick. So it's going to be awesome. Got one. All right. So we're 1 for 3. Tomorrow, it's going to be very interesting. Tomorrow is the Colts. The Indianapolis Colts. There is nothing more I can say about this. There's nothing more I can say. The Colts had one of those weird years. Just you fire your head coach, you bring on Jeff Saturday, who was just chilling, and your team 4 hours later, you fire him, then you fire him. The Colts just have a weird way of doing things sometimes. And Jim Irsay has his finger for this. And I think tomorrow is going to be a very interesting draft selection, because I truly believe that the Indianapolis Colts and Jim Irsay already gave up their hand way before the combine. So I'm going to tell you all, folks, right now, just get ready for the Colts pick tomorrow, because Jim Irsay, I think, just gave up Colts' hand for this whole draft. So even before the season was over, by the way. So there you go. So it's going to be interesting. So again, to recap, at pick number 3, me and Brandon select Will Anderson. For everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comment section, is Will Anderson the great choice for Arizona? Should it be Jalen Carter? Should they trade back? Let us know. What would you guys do at 3 at that point? So again, as always, Brandon, it is nice to talk to you, my man. I will see you tomorrow. Do the Indianapolis Colts tomorrow. So have fun, get some rest, and Colts fans, remember, we're doing this for the shoe. Pat McAfee, we're doing this for the shoe, man. All right, we're doing it for the. So here we go. But until then, guys, see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, and see you guys tomorrow.